Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Newark Regional Business Partnership, welcome to our annual Eye Opener, a conversation with Newark's mayor. Before we go any further, please enjoy a brief message about NRBP. Hello, I'm Verlanda Fox-Nixon, President and CEO of NRBP, the premier chamber of commerce serving the greater Newark region. Our mission is to strengthen the region's business community through connections, resources, and advocacy. From member-exclusive opportunities to public events and more, NRBP helps businesses of all sizes grow, engage, and succeed. Join us at NRBP, where business meets opportunity. We are so thrilled to be here today at Essex County College, our generous host sponsor. We truly appreciate their partnership on making this event possible. We'd also like to extend a huge thank you to our dedicated sponsors who make events like this come to fruition. Today's sponsors are RWJ Barnabas Health, Newark Beth Israel Medical Center, and we also have Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield and United Airlines. So thank you so very much for sponsoring us. At this time, I'd like to ask all NRBP's Board of Directors to please raise your hands so you can be acknowledged for your commitment and your presence here today. So if you just raise your hand, wave, there's about 6 of you. Thank you. Your leadership is vital to our organization and the success of Newark. And we'd also like to ask our NRBP members in the audience to please raise your hands. Thank you. That's most of you. Thank you for your continued engagement and support of the business community in our region. I want to give a special shout out to Bob Kerrigan, CEO of Audible, a global enterprise headquartered right here in Newark. And we want to thank him for his unwavering support and acknowledge the fact that he did not find it robbery to be here today. So thank you so much. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the incredible NRBP staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes to make events like this happen and for all of our initiatives to be successful. So please join me in a round of applause for their dedication. So we have Kirsten Giardi, who's in the back. Maya Perry is floating around here doing the logistical things, and then Nikki Drake is at the registration table. And I also want to thank Elise Richards for volunteering today. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Augustine Boachi. He's the president of Essex County College, for a brief welcome on behalf of our host sponsor. Dr. Boachi.
Good morning and welcome to Essex County College. Yes, the response is great, and I'm happy. I know that this is the beginning, and we're going to have a beautiful day, few hours to share and listen and know what is going on around us so that we can continue to build a stronger team. As the president of Essex County College for the last 5 years, whilst you are here, I would like to take opportunity to share a few things with you so that at least you get to know where you are. It was wonderful to hear from a few of you saying that this is the first time you are entering into the building. But Essex County College has been in existence for almost 55, 56 years now, and we have graduated over 30-something thousand students. Each year we graduate close to 1,000 to 1,200 students in academic programs and also in certificates. Our mission has been very simple: to create access to the community that will lead success. So what we do here is actually to change lives. And when we meet partners like this, talking about Newark Regional Business Partnership members, it's a great partnership for us to be part of. Let's give ourselves a big round of applause. Because we do everything together. We have some of you that have partnered with us whilst we provide academic theories and knowledge, skills, working with us, giving our students some form of internship and giving them hands-on experience, and we really appreciate that. We have some of you that have been sponsoring some of our programs and events, and we really appreciate that. We have some of you that have been providing some form of scholarships to our students. And the biggest of all, giving our students opportunity to work in your centers. As we talk about eye-opening today, I want to take a moment to share with you that Essex County College has been growing very fast and also stronger. Why? Because some time ago, some people were concerned about, what about the accreditation of the college? Yes, Essex County College is fully accredited by our Regional Accreditation Council, Middle States Council of Higher Ed. We are accredited by Middle States. And apart from that, we are also expanding what we have. We have the Newark campus here, and we have West Caldwell campus. In fact, we're doing a lot of beautiful things here, and if you have a chance, I would like you to take a moment to walk and go up next floor. You will see a renovated library we just opened about a month ago, Martin Luther King Jr. Library. Very beautiful space. And we have renovated our gym. We are doing a lot of projects here. And West Caldwell campus, we kind of put everything all together recently. So Essex County College is doing very well. Essex is one of the few higher education institutions in the state of New Jersey that will bring the community members from the infants. When you are 3 months old, you can come to Essex County College through our Child Development Center. Yes, when you get to primary school or elementary school, we have comprehensive summer programs and also weekend programs for the community members throughout the year. When the students get to middle school, recently we partner with the mayor's office and Superintendent Rogers' office to create what you call middle school to college program, where we have students here who are in middle school but have started taking some college level courses to build them stronger. When they get to high school, we are big in what we refer to as dual enrollment. So the dual enrollment is where students are in high school, but they still spend some time to take college courses. You will not believe that this last week, same day, same time, we had 142 high schoolers who received associate degree from Essex County College at the same time. Yes, it's very important because you finished high school and you also have 2-year degree, 2-year level college degree certificate. So what we are doing is to saving parents and families a lot of money. Yes, you know how expensive college is. And on top of that, when they finish the high school, Essex is the place. Sometimes people talk about all the other 4-year schools, but the secret is that Essex County College is the one that brings all of them here to prepare them, make them stronger before they transfer to the other 4-year schools. To get the degrees, you see them that they hold. So the college is doing a lot of beautiful things that I wanted to share with you. Our programs in healthcare, in engineering, in business, paralegal, or name them. All the programs that colleges are supposed to offer, we offer them here. And some people may say, what about Newark? Essex is Newark. because almost half of our students live here. Some people are not even aware. So if you take all the 10, 15 colleges around here, this is their space. This is where they come. Sometimes people are not aware. I'm repeating that. Essex County College is the school that is educating the people that are in this community. So you see them at your workplaces? Yes. There is no health center or hospital around that you go and you shout Essex County College that you will not see multiple nurses, multiple radiographers, multiple physical therapists coming from this college. That is what we do each day. So I wanted to share with you, most of our employees come from they come from 99 cities, but 33% of our employees live here. Yes, I wanted to share with you because today is eye-opener day, and you need to know. You need to know. I don't want you to leave and say, oh, I should have known this. I want to share with you. There are many, many things. If we have time, I'll go on and on and on and on. But again, I want to share with you, SS is partnered with multiple community groups, including Newark Regional Business Partnership, Greater Newark Visitors Convention Bureau, University Heights, Newark City Learning Collaboration, Newark Anchor, Newark Business Education Group, all the other groups. Essex County College is in there to make sure we support all other partners to change lives. My call to everybody here today is, if it's the first time you're hearing from me or you're hearing from a leader of this college, the college is stabilized, the college is stronger, and the college is meeting its goals. Our graduation rate has increased within the last 5 years from 11.7 to 20.3 within 5 years. So it's a sign to share with you that we mean business and we are doing what is expected of us. So I really wanted to thank each one of you for being part of this special event, and I want to give a big shout out to Ms. Fosnessen and her team for what they are doing. Let's give it up to them. Thank you very much. Lastly, I want to take opportunity to really acknowledge and thank our Mayor Baraka, for his partnership and the work he's been doing with us. As I share with you all the projects that we are doing, he supports us with a number of things, helping us to get all the necessary permit, paperwork, everything to make sure that we prepare a space that will meet the teaching and the learning. We prepare a space that will be called home to many students. So I want to thank you, and please, if you want to partner with us in any form, do so. Come in here, we're going to open what we call Friends of ECC. What that means is that any business partner that want to work with us in any form, we want to bring you on board and work with you. Thank you, and have a beautiful and wonderful day.
Thank you, Dr. Boachi. And before we continue, I want to give a special acknowledgement to Al Bundy, ECC's Executive Director of Institutional Advancement, for his invaluable help in leading all the logistical efforts for today's event on behalf of ECC. So thank you, Al. Thank you. So we have a host sponsor, ECC. We have a series sponsor, RWJ Barnabas, Newark Beth Israel. And so on behalf of our series sponsor, Linda Kamate, who is their Vice President of Public Relations, will come and share a few remarks before we start our conversation with the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here to represent RWJ Barnabas Health and Newark Beth Israel Medical Center, and our President and CEO, Mr. Gerald Terry, who could not be here with us today, but he sends his regards to everyone. I want to thank Newark Regional Business Partners, for Landa and Maya, for putting this event together, and so many of the series that they put together for us. And I also want to thank our Honorable Mayor, Baraka, for his partnership. I'm going to talk to you today about some of the many ways that we've been partnering with the city of Newark in the last year or so, over the years, but in the last year or so, we've done a lot of great work in the city of Newark. As you said, Dr. Balachi, this is a great opportunity, an eye-opener, to let everyone know what's happening in the city of Newark. In the last year, RWJ Barnabas Health has been working hand in hand to address some of the health concerns, what we call social determinants of health. These are the things that really you can't fix inside of a doctor's office. You have to go out into the community to address these concerns. Things like food insecurity, housing, and helping moms and families with some of the many needs that they have. For example, we have a women's wellness food pharmacy at Newark Beth Israel, and in the last year, we've distributed more than 90,000 pounds of food to women and children, and 140,000 diapers to our families who come to our health center. Thank you. We call this a food pharmacy model. It's been extremely successful at Newark Beth Israel and within RWJ Barnabas Health, and we're now launching it. Last year we launched it at St. James FQHC, and we're going to continue to launch and partner with FQHCs across the city to bring this model to the greater Newark area. We also have a greenhouse. Some of you may be familiar with our greenhouse on the corner of Lehigh and Osborne Terrace, where we grow over 5,000 pounds of fresh produce every year. And we also have a farmer's market, where we're able to bring that food to the community directly and sell it to them once a week. It starts actually this Thursday, June 5th. We start our farmer's market. And last year, we also worked with the mayor, thank you very much, Mayor Baraka, to support Hope Village 2, the transitional housing community, and RWJ Barnabas Health supplied the furnishings for those units. So that's some of the things that we're doing in the community, but also if you happen to come to the hospital, you'll notice there are big changes happening at the hospital as well. We have a brand new, beautiful glass lobby. That's the most visible thing that you can see of the changes. But we also have a new emergency department, a new pediatric emergency department. We're opening up new operating rooms, new minimally invasive operating rooms. We have 2 units designed specifically for older adults. Some people have said it seems like a hotel on those units, so they're very well designed. And the work doesn't stop. We're continuing. It should be this year, we're gonna open up Panera Bread. So when you come to the hospital, you have another option for food there. And we're also reimagining the way that we deliver care. So this year we were named one of America's 50 best hospitals for cardiac surgery. We received U.S. News and World Report high ranking for maternity care and for access to maternity care. And we're also bringing some of the arts into our hospital as well. For our children, we partner with NJPAC to bring live performances to the children who are in our on our pediatric units. And also when you just come into the lobby, you can hear live music performances every other Thursday in our lobby in the afternoons. So there's a lot of great things happening in the hospital, outside of the hospital. We're so happy for all of the partnerships that we have with so many of you here. And I don't want to go on and on too much about what's happening, so I will let us begin our program, and I'll turn it back over to you and to the mayor. Thank you.
So thank you, Linda, for that update. And I do want to say sponsorships are very important for the NRBP business model. It pays for the event. So when the event gets paid for, right, look at that bottom line, and I'm not in the red, then we can invite many of you to come as our guests, guests of the sponsors, but also guests of the organization. So many of you are here because you've been comped the ticket, and you've been comped the ticket because we've had some very generous sponsors. And so taking the time to recognize them and then also for them to share what they're doing in the community is very important to our business model, so thank you. So now it's my distinct honor to return to the stage and host a conversation with a leader who is tirelessly working to shape Newark's present and future, Mayor Raz J. Baraka. You could join me. I'm showing my age. My modesty scarf. Only the older women in the room know.
Church ladies.
Right. Because I was going to try to do it without it, and I was like, nope, you just don't have the skills. So, but anyway, Mayor, thank you for joining us again. We know your schedule is incredibly demanding, and we truly appreciate you making the time for this important civic discussion. And this is something that we've been doing, NRBP has been doing for decades. So Mayor Baraka is not the first mayor that we've had this conversation with. It dates back, certainly as far back as Mayor Sharp James. For the benefit of everyone here, I want to emphasize that today's conversation will focus exclusively on the progress and future of Newark. So that means questions and comments related to any political campaigns that might be happening at this moment are strictly off limits during this event. Our goal is to gain insights into the city's strategic direction, upcoming initiatives, and the economic landscape that directly impacts our businesses and communities. So with that said, let's begin. I have 10 questions, so hopefully I'll be able to get through them. The first one deals with community development. So Mayor, let's start with the heart of our city, its communities. Beyond specific redevelopment projects we often hear about, what is your administration's long-term vision for fostering a greater sense of community, cohesion, and resident empowerment across all of Newark's diverse neighborhoods?
It's like a thesis paper.
It's packed with a lot.
Yeah.
We can break it down.
So the first thing is we changed our zoning ordinance, and that was important for us to change the master plan, to change the zoning ordinance to allow for density alongside the corridor so we could repopulate the communities that were disinvested in or people left in those neighborhoods. You have to create walking traffic up and down the corridors outside of the downtown community. So we created density in those areas. We added ADUs. We added a few other things that I think will help create the kind of walking traffic we need in communities and put people back in their neighborhoods at the same time. We have a community development project going on with multiple developers that we've forced them or allowed them to partner, I should say, with community nonprofits and other CDFIs and other partnerships. So it wouldn't be the model before was 2 or 3 people bought 500 pieces of property, and so we moved away from that and tried to create a collaborative model, collaborative community model where folks partner with community-based organizations, and we helped along that process and gave them multiple lots in order to create some continuity in the development in the community at the same time. We had 2 iterations of that that are happening. Some of these folks are beginning to start the development now, so we are thankful for that. That's really been our focus, and there's been a lot of, thank God, a lot of community-based developers that are going into the neighborhoods doing development that are not interested in the downtown or around the downtown area. They've been doing a lot of development in the other wards, and it's been good to see.
When you're doing all of these changes in the community, how do you get people to embrace change? Because, human nature is we don't like change. What's your strategy for getting residents and all stakeholders a little bit more comfortable with change?
Well, I don't think there's no specific strategy other than talking to people over and over and over again. I mean, you just have to have multitudes of meetings as much as you possibly can and have ambassadors and get people to be involved in what's going on. I mean, and people need to see people they know and that look like them engaged in development as well. Changing the zoning ordinances were helpful because a lot of small developers had to go to the zoning board to get these changes, and it took too long and it's too costly. So we cut a lot of that out and allowed them to do development as of right. It helped them save money and do the project faster. People see their community changing for the positive, for the better. It's easier for them to embrace what's going on. People don't want to be around abandoned properties and vacant lots. So when they see those things happening, they become a little bit more excited about what's going on in their neighborhood. But you have to keep talking to people at the same time.
Conversation and transparency, I think, is very important. So let's talk about economic development. Newark is a city of incredible growth. As major infrastructure projects like modernization of the airport continue to advance, how is the city strategically working to ensure that local Newark businesses and residents directly benefit either through job creation, procurement opportunities, and sustained economic growth?
Well, this is what we've been doing since the beginning. So everybody that walks in our office know that they have to have a plan to hire Newark residents. That's a part of our agreements, a plan to have minority subcontractors. We have a minority co-developer ordinance in the city of Newark that creates opportunities for people to be co-developers on projects, on big projects. People have to get co-developers when they get certain city subsidies. So we make sure of that, from lead service lines to tax abatements to whatever it is that's going on that the city has. We completely make sure that Newark residents are at the forefront of all these discussions.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. And then when we're speaking about economic growth, while real estate development remains vital, we're also seeing a national shift in economic drivers. So what is being done to attract and retain businesses in sectors beyond traditional real estate, such as technology or advanced manufacturing, to truly diversify Newark's economy and create new high-quality job opportunities?
Well, Newark sells itself, actually, and I'm happy that the Newark Alliance does a lot of work in helping us attract businesses, but ultimately our investment in the port, the state, along with NJIT and NJII, their kind of innovation, I forgot I'm trying to figure out what to call it, but these kind of innovation organizations like NJII that creates opportunity for hard tech to go right to the market, right? And that's exactly what we've been doing. We just opened one across the street on Warren Street School, across from Old Warren Street School, which is going to be incredible for us. Hacks just came here a couple of years ago, which does hard tech right here in our city, and I think that sets the stage for more hard tech companies and soft tech companies at the same time. I think ultimately, because we have the port and we have the transportation infrastructure, it really sells itself. Our investment should be in the port, should be modernizing the port, expanding the port, at the same time investing in our universities, our workforce, to make sure that we can retain the engineers and scientists in our state and make sure that the things that they invent, they come up with, the ideas that they create at the university can go right to the marketplace. I think that's what we're doing in the city of Newark, and I think the state can benefit from doing that as well.
That's a great answer. I love it. Diversifying our economy and fostering community cohesion are deeply intertwined with the fundamental need for public safety. What innovative programs or initiatives are currently underway to further enhance community police relations and reduce crime rates, particularly focusing on youth engagement and crime prevention efforts across the whole city?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's new now. We've been doing this for some time. We haven't changed anything. I think this is working for us, so we want to keep it working. Our community violence intervention organizations through the Brick City Peace Collective and the Office of Violence Prevention is national model. Like, people from all over the country come here and learn about how to do violence intervention in the city of Newark. We want to keep doing that. Unfortunately, the country has reduced about $800 million worth of spending in that area. That is affecting organizations across the country. Most cities have been talking to each other and have seen an incredible reduction in violent crime, whether you're talking about Baltimore, or East St. Louis, or Newark, right? Because we're sharing models and sharing practices. Those resources taken away from us becomes a serious problem for a lot of these organizations. And so we have to find other funding models to make sure that our organizations continue. Fortunately, in Newark, we take some of our dollars from the public safety department, which helps us at least function in a fundamental way, but we still need dollars to help community-based organizations focus on violence intervention and violence reduction in our communities. And our relationship with Rutgers, with University Hospital, helps us as well with giving us real hard data and how to, begin to address some of the problems that we have. So we've experienced a reduction in overall crime every year, right? And a 61% reduction in homicides and a 47% reduction in shootings in the city in the last decade.
That's definitely great news, and continued progress in that helps the economic development of the city overall, right? So addressing public safety often requires robust underlying infrastructure. So we commend your administration for the successful completion of the lead pipe replacement program. So a truly monumental achievement for public health and safety. So with that critical project behind you, what are the next key infrastructure priorities for Newark, particularly in areas like public transportation connectivity and proactively addressing climate change impacts?
Yeah, let me go back to something though, because people often think that the reduction in crime helps with development. It does on its face, but development actually helps with the reduction of crime.
Okay.
And so it is a cyclical kind of thing.
So speak more on that.
People, they didn't wait for the projects to go down in order to go to Brooklyn, right? So they didn't wait for crime to stop. People began building right down the street from violence, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, this idea that you can't develop the community makes that kind of premise suggests that we can't get development in our community because there's a lot of crime. And I would push back against that and say crime exists because there is no investment in our community, okay. Right? And there has to be this kind of cyclical approach. And you have to involve people from the community in it, so it's just not development through displacement, right? Because there's a multitude of cities who compare themselves to Newark, but their average income is over $100,000. In Newark, the average income is $36,000. Mm-hmm. Still, right. So the reality is the ability to try to do both of those things. We have a lot of infrastructure stuff to do in Newark because Newark is a very old city. We still have a combined sewer overflow system that we have to abate based on a DEP and EPA, along with a bunch of cities up and down this corridor, which is going to cost billions of dollars to do. With all of the development that's happening in the city, we have to, and a lot of developers feel it because we put a lot of onus on them, at least the pioneer developers, in fixing the old sewer systems and the old pipes, the water pipes. The infrastructure cannot support the kind of development that's happening without it being changed, and the city doesn't have the immediate dollars to change the infrastructure simultaneously. So we need a lot of support from developers, especially big developers. And so we put them on a hook for helping us with some of this development in the city to get our water infrastructure up to par, up to a level that it can support the kind of growth that the city is experiencing, for sure. And that's also human growth in terms of human infrastructure, as well. As the city grows, we have to grow our engineering department, we have to grow UCC, we have to grow code enforcement, fire, police. All these things have to grow. We've been having growing pains as the city has been not as fast as growing as the development is at the same time. To pay people wages that are able to compete with the private sector, to grow UCC, because people think they're the only project in the world, not knowing there are 150 projects going on in the city at the same time. Right. big and small. So this means we need to hire more people. So we are doing that, but we have to keep pace with the development that's going on. We created microtransit. We just did a pilot, but we've been doing it for a while. We just partnered with an organization called VIA to do microtransit to get people around the city and to the downtown at the same time for free on the weekends. And hopefully we can expand that to the rest of the weekday. It's an app you call, they come and pick you up, they take you to any other part of the city. You can't go outside of the city, but it's an internal kind of city proper event. But it'll make sure you get to the museum, the library, the NJPAC, the parks, different places to work, to school, all of those things, which we think is important right now. So we want to continue to invest in that and continue to watch that grow with the help of Newark Invest Newark, the city of Newark, and VIA. We've been able to make that happen. I want to shout out Victoria Walker too. She's done an awesome job in making it happen.
I think that's exciting. Do you plan on posting any data on the results of VIA?
The first 3 days we had 150 rides.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I like the idea is very, I think, transformative for the residents of the city. And so many times, like in New Jersey itself, but within places that we live, we don't really explore where we live. We stay in our neighborhood. We stay in this, like we have people in New Jersey who've never gone to the Jersey Shore, right? So this allows people to go and travel throughout the city and really get to explore the treasures of the city. So that's exciting. So now reliable infrastructure supports all aspects of urban life, including access to stable housing. A critical challenge many cities face, which you had mentioned, including Newark, is affordable housing. What specific strategies and partnerships is the city pursuing to accelerate the creation and preservation of genuinely affordable housing units for residents across various income levels?
I'm glad you said genuinely, because in New Jersey, if you can live in it, it's affordable. I don't know, the affordability is up and down the spectrum. So affordability in Newark is different than affordability in Jersey City, different than affordability in Asbury Park, different than, if you live in Monroe Township or Montvale, New Jersey, it's different, right? Affordability in Newark has to be deeper. When people say truly affordable, folks that live 60% of the area median income, they need a place to live too. So we have to build affordability for them, or 80% of the area median income. Or people who make too much for affordable housing and too little for the market rate, we have to build housing for them because it's also unaffordable for them as well. So we have to be clear when we, get on our stoops and start, talking about these things. Up and down the state of New Jersey, affordability is crazy. If I just came home from college and I have a good job, I can't afford to buy a home because the mortgage is averaging $500,000 to $1 million. That's not affordable for me, which drives me into luxury housing in the market. Affordability is established by HUD, right? Not by the developer, not by the city. So it depends on how low you go or how high you go on that affordability scale. Newark goes to about 30%, 40% of the AMI, which is about $40,000 for a family, right? Unfortunately, people in Newark make some people in Newark make below that, right? And so we have to have affordable housing trust fund, and we invest in projects that go lower than that, and projects that do more affordability than 20%, 40%, 50%. Across the street from City Hall is a 50% affordability project, that 50% of the units in it are affordable at different levels of the area median income. And that's what we should be talking about. What level of the area median income we talking about, and how do we create the subsidy to create the housing for those folks? I mean, you could be a senior on a fixed income, right? Affordability for you is difficult as well. And you don't want to live in a senior home because the people who run in a senior home using Medicaid to fill their pockets and not make sure your life is better. So that's why ADUs become important, because you should be able to get the Medicaid dollars to take care of your own mother or grandmother if you build an ADU on the side of your home. Or anybody in your family that might be developmentally disabled, or maybe just somebody come home from college that you want to rent the place to. So I think we need to have a broader view in my mind of what affordability looks like to drive it all the way down. And ultimately, we just have to build more affordable housing. And lastly, we can't fall into what these other folks are saying, that the only people that's responsible for affordable housing are cities, which I think is myopic and racist, by the way. The reality is it's impossible for 7 cities to build all the affordable housing in the state of New Jersey. It's not only mathematically possible, it's like morally irreprehensible, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, reprehensible, yeah.
So who would you like to have sitting around the table, like to come up with policy on addressing affordable housing?
People who've done it, right? People who've built affordable housing, people, not just bureaucrats. I think you need people developers who understand affordable housing, what it looks like. You need community-based advocates who advocate for affordable housing, community-based organizations who are not looking for a huge return on their investment. I think, in fact, community-based organizations should be more involved in affordable housing creation all up and down the state of New Jersey, and mid-sized and small developers as well. Those people need to be at the table to discuss what affordability looks like, how to do that. I think also local elected officials who have to do this work. I mean, you're asking people to build affordable housing who's never done it, who don't know anything about a tax credit, don't know what a 9% is, or don't know what LIHTC is. They don't know any of this stuff. And you're asking them to build affordable housing, they just don't know what you're talking about. They think we're going to build a 30-foot tower, a 300-story tower, and with 20% affordability in Milburn, which is kind of ridiculous for you to even think about that. But that's because they have no view of what affordability means or looks like to them. It's a very, very prejudicial view of what it is, and narrow-minded.
Mm-hmm. That's why diversity and inclusion is a good thing, right?
Well, a few classes.
Affordable housing is one aspect of the broader real estate development landscape, so we just talked about that. But as we continue to see significant revitalization and new construction, particularly in downtown areas, how is the city balancing this growth with critical need to prevent displacement and ensure equitable access to new developments for long-term Newark residents and small businesses?
So we have a housing tracker, which is great. We just established it, what it does, and we have the ordinance that allows that Jersey City is just picking up, that allows us to have the ability to direct Newark residents for the first 90 or so days into those properties. The properties that have to do the 20% affordability, we now have the ability to allow Newark residents the first opportunity or the first day, as we say, to get those apartments. At that rate, we have had like a 78% success rate in making sure that Newarkers get into those buildings based on the new housing tracker. So I'm very happy in the way that that's going. And you know, our affordable housing or inclusionary zoning model has changed over the years based on things that we found out, based on pressures from our folks in the equitable investment, growth commission, and also from people in the community who have commented or opined on certain things. So we've changed it from the first iteration to the second iteration to the third, which is this housing tracker that allows us to make sure Newark residents are being a part of the development that's happening in the city. But ultimately, we have to empower community-based developers, give them more opportunity and resources. That's why we have now that community-based developers get first right of refusal to all community-owned land or city-owned property first in the city. We want to give them the opportunity because their return on investment is not as, I would say ambitious as other folks. So we want them to do affordable housing for the most part because they'll do more at a deeper level for us. And then partner with groups like Urban League, who's doing affordable home ownership for us as well. You know, they're expanding affordable home ownership.
I love the intentionality, right? You have to be very focused and direct and intentional on what you're trying to accomplish to actually see the results. I'm going to switch to healthcare. So ensuring the well-being of residents also extends to their health. What initiatives is the city leading or actively supporting to address health disparities in Newark?
I think all of the things that we've been doing so far, I mean, you know, expanding our FQHC, our mobile unit that goes out into the street, that stays in the community for weeks and weeks at a time in certain neighborhoods, our partnership with, you know, I was just talking about RWJ Barnabas, we're making sure we expand food and clinics to folks throughout the city. You know, the partnership we have at the top of by Georgia King Village, where we build housing with a clinic at the bottom. I think the concept of changing these models into housing and not just retail, but housing and access to healthcare, access to food is important, right? Especially in places where there's food deserts and lack of access to healthcare or primary care physicians. So when we build in these housing kind of models, that we also include not just retail or coffee shop, but begin to talk about clinics in these spaces at the same time. But I think the most important thing that we've done in the city is try to expand our FQHC by making sure we take our mobile, our doctors out into the street where people are. We opened up a clinic right next to Bradley Court, Housing Authority right there, and making sure we bring services to the community. And all of our outreach teams having clinicians and doctors on these teams have been incredibly helpful to us because we've been able to admit people on the street. We've been able to provide prescriptions to people on the street, people that are dealing with drug addiction and mental health. That has been incredibly innovative and helpful for us to deal with some of the problems where people aren't going to the doctor or they don't have a primary care physician. They wait until a crisis to go get admitted.
Right.
We can treat them on the street right there.
That's great. And then on to education. So healthcare, like economic opportunity, is profoundly impacted by education. From your youngest learners in pre-K to those pursuing higher education, how is the city collaborating with the Newark Board of Education and local universities to create seamless educational pathways that effectively prepare Newark students for both higher education and the in-demand career opportunities within the city?
So I think we have so many things going on. I mean, we actually have a literacy plan, a literacy strategy that just doesn't deal with the schools, it also deals with parents, it deals with community-based organizations, rec centers, to make sure literacy is at the top of it, or high dosage tutoring is a part of all of the things that we do in the city. We obviously have the Mayor's Book Club, with a part of the literacy stuff that we go into, not just the high schools, but middle schools as well. I just did a book club with Science High School about a book that they've written about immigration, which is incredibly timely right now. It talks about all the individual stories from Malaysians to Portuguese, right? And everything in between, you know, Africa, Brazil. You know, that was incredible experience for the kids and incredible experience for me, by the way. We also have opportunities, not just in the summer, but year round, where we workforce, where we train kids and get them prepared. We partner with the school system to put carpentry in the schools. So when they graduate or when they leave the school, they can do it in the summer. And then when they finish that, they leave with and become apprenticeships in the larger union. And some of those kids are actually working on buildings in the city of Newark who went through those programs. We took almost about 60 kids and we partnered with EOF to put them in school for free. No cost, no room and board, no food. The gap, we took care of the gap. So they have no gap in their financing for school. And about 80-something% of those kids are still in that program on course to graduate. Seven of them are actually on the dean's list, and one is about to start international study now.
That's exciting.
And these are kids who mostly had a 2.5 or below GPA, who have been involved in the justice system at one point or the other, or their family members have been. So this is a very critical population of kids who probably would have never went to college without us providing this opportunity for them. And it's been, you know, wildly successful in my mind, and you know, I'm grateful that we're able to create that opportunity for these young people in the city of Newark. But we're constantly partnering with, and we're still partnering with all of the schools to create a one enrollment system that doesn't exist yet, but we're still fighting to get them to sit down and try to make this happen because it's important. We have many schools in the city of Newark.
And I said I had 10 questions, so this is my last one before we open it up to our audience. So as the premier chamber of commerce serving the greater Newark region, the Newark Regional Business Partnership is committed to supporting Newark's vibrant business community and contributing to the city's prosperity. From your perspective, how can NRBP how can we best collaborate with your administration to support the city's strategic goals, identify emerging challenges, and foster an even more dynamic and inclusive business environment here in Newark?
I would say you partner with Invest Newark, right? I think Invest Newark is doing an awesome job with limited resources and making sure that we cater to the business community, that we get small businesses up and running in the city of Newark, that we invite business here. They've been doing a great job in helping us foster housing growth and housing development through the land bank, putting people in properties, taking vacant lots and abandoned properties and turning them into viable opportunities for not just the residents of this community, but economic engines for the city at the same time. Our program, where we turn people with Section 8 vouchers into homeowners, is an Invest Newark baby, right? It comes out of Invest Newark. So I would say partner with Invest Newark. They're doing awesome work, and that's the place to be. Between those guys and Newark Alliance, all of us, all three of these organizations should be working in tandem because the outcome and the goals are the same. And that's the kind of model that we're trying to create by bringing all these downtown organizations together that we did, from the downtown district to all of the advertising in the city and all the other kind of things. We're bringing all those organizations together, and I think you guys should begin working, figuring out how to work together to streamline some of the efforts and making sure we support businesses in our community, that there's strategic kind of growth going on. I mean, they've worked well with Audible as well. So all those things should be happening together. Like there should be one conversation about the way these things work and not multiple conversations.
Right. So I think to that end, so Invest Newark and Newark Alliance, they're members of NRBP. Actually, Invest Newark, we have Emily Mance, who's a board member. And before her, we had Kevin Collins. And so we definitely see that kind of making sure you're creating an environment where the silos don't exist. Right? And everyone can see where they can fit into further the goal, right? And not be so territorial. So I think we're on that. We're right there. Yeah. That's what we're trying to accomplish.
That's exactly what needs to happen, and share resources and be more efficient in getting this stuff done.
Okay. So that's all I have. So we're going to open the floor up now. So Mayor Baraka, thank you for those comprehensive and insightful responses.
You're very welcome.
This has been incredibly informative. So now we'd like to open the floor for questions. We have a mic over here, and I think we also have, is there another mic floating around? Okay. So if we can if you start to line up. Oh, I was supposed to say one other thing. So please remember, as previously stated, questions and comments related to any political campaigns are strictly off limits. So we're here to focus on Newark's progress and future, and so ask away.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you so very much. It's been super informative. I'm Cheryl McCants with Impact Consulting Enterprises. Mayor Baraka, you talked a lot about the infrastructure work. You mentioned the lead pipe replacement. You talked about housing. Can you spend a little bit of time talking about the importance of art in the city and all the festivals that we have? If you could just share some insight there, that'd be great.
And I think art is important, not just because I'm an artist, but I think it's important. But I mean, art to me is an economic driver in the city. Our Creative Catalyst Fund is important to us. I mean, we get a lot of discussion. We had a discussion on Friday. We have Friday meetings every Friday with our directors going over key performance indicators. A lot of folks lamenting about some of the comments we get from people who don't understand why we invest money in art. Right? People are saying it's a waste of money, so we have to encourage people, especially, folks who are doing, Fayemi, who's doing incredible work at the same time. So, but besides beautifying the city, the Creative Catalyst Fund, besides making sure money goes to, so when COVID happened, money was going to everybody but artist organizations, right? All the businesses could get money but them. So we decided to give artists money as well so that they can continue plays and galleries and doing the thing that they did, and we kept it going because it's important to us. We have hundreds of murals now. We have one of the longest murals in the country now over there on McCarter Highway. All of the things that are happening, the galleries, we have a poet laureate in the city of Newark right there. People are hanging out. People hanging out. Oh, can I say one last thing on that? Somebody was talking to somebody about, it was an interview I was watching. It might have been Best Look Like, whatever. But they were saying about how people say it's nothing to do in Newark. And he made a good point. He said that depends on the scene you're looking for. Right. And that was sharp because, there's a lot of circles in this community where artists are hanging out doing a thing. And communities blossom because of artists, right? People don't go to New York just to go hang out on Broadway. They go there to go see plays and movies and all kinds of things. So we're trying to create the same atmosphere here.
Very good. Great question.
All right. How you doing, man? All right. How do you plan to address the public health crisis caused by the overconcentration of fast food and low nutrition food options in communities like Newark, which contribute to both physical and mental health challenges? Specifically, how will you support strategies that empower communities to fully utilize local assets like community gardens during harvest season, develop food districts that support brick and mortar eateries serving fresh, affordable meals, and reduce dependency on unhealthy food without negatively impacting jobs and raising living costs?
Right. So some of that stuff we do with our Nourish in Newark fund. We try to give money to community-based farms, to organizations that pass out food. We do that. Obviously, you should talk to some building owners. These folks are gonna rent their property to fast food places as quickly as they can. Ultimately, what we try to do is create diversity in what we're looking for, either through Invest in Newark or the other organizations that we have that we're working with to look for the kind of diversity in business that is coming here. And I think we've been successful at that. More people of color, more women businesses, more diversity of not the same kind of business, and more mom and pop style businesses, not these big chains that are coming through. These chains come to cities because folks allow them to come in because they can pay that rent, right? And they want to drive those rents up. And so we have to figure out a way to subsidize some of those rents to keep them lower so we can get more mom and pop businesses in there and continue to fund the Nourish in Newark kind of idea that gives money to community-based organizations that do urban farming, that pass out food, that create opportunities for co-ops, right? And that's the new direction we should be going in, like more food cooperatives, more than anything, right? So, and creating a diversity of businesses at the same time. But you can have a diverse mom and pop store who sell bad food too, but at the same time, we have to figure out what we're looking for and be more intentional about the businesses that we're attracting to the city or we're inviting to the city, which is also a sit down where the people actually own the buildings as well.
Right. Thank you.
Hi, Mayor. My name is Manmohan Thawar from American Software. We're a technology business in Newark, a small business, obviously. My question is related to small businesses trying to engage with a lot of these big businesses that are already in Newark. So capacity is always a problem, right? But things evolve based on relationships, which takes time. And now, as a small business in Newark, we are still struggling to further those relationships so there is material engagement. What are the different things that are available as a small business so we can be at least successful more with the local businesses here, big businesses?
Well, the small businesses outnumber the big businesses in the city, but also in the state, by the way. So this idea that there are more big businesses than everything else is just not true, right? So the small businesses in New Jersey hire more people collectively than all the big businesses combined in this state. That's period. So small business and mid-sized businesses in New Jersey are responsible for the GDP of this state by far, right? Which speaks to why it doesn't make sense to have this kind of mass deportation silliness that's going on, because a lot of these businesses are fueled and begun by immigrant businesses that are keeping the GDP moving as people leave out of the state of New Jersey. These businesses are keeping our economy going. At the end of the day, I would say be involved in organizations like Newark Regional Business Partnership, come to kind of gatherings that folks have where there's a relationship where big businesses are there and small businesses are there collectively, and begin to, network, share what it is, and we create platforms where you can share your products to larger businesses who are purchasing these products. A procurement strategy. In Newark, we have been very intentional since Prudential financed this kind of study that showed our procurement dollars, but we were only spending 3% of our procurement dollars in local businesses. We began to be very intentional about and deliberate about how we urged larger businesses to spend here in the city of Newark, and it changed a lot of the patterns, not only the patterns of spending, but also the patterns of hiring folks at the same time. We just have to continue to lean in on that, and I think some of the businesses, whether you're talking about eds and meds or the hospitals, Beth Israel did an awesome job at helping us do that. Rutgers University did an awesome job helping us do that. I've got to shout Audible out at the same time. United Airlines, different places began very conscious of hiring local folks, began to using their dollars to procure resources from local businesses. And Newark Alliance has been incredibly helpful at getting those businesses to do that as well. I would make sure you reach out to Newark Alliance as well and present what you have, right? And see how these things can be helpful to the larger businesses. I mean, they've been buying socks and shirts and food and cakes from local businesses. They need to start figuring out how to buy some technology, right? And if you provide that, you should make your goods available.
Yeah, we're engaging with like Port Authority on EWR Airport using the LBE credits, right? So similar stuff where it's not like an entity within Newark where we get some credits from that.
Yeah. What I'm telling you to do is build your relationships. That's what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to build your relationships and build your relationships in the Newark Alliance, in Newark Regional Business Partnerships, because some of these people you're talking to are in this room, and some of those, or they have relationships with the people that you're talking to in the room. The number one skill that we need that's not taught in school is relationship building and collaboration. Those two things are incredibly important.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
My name is Leo Legrier. My company is Brilliance 5-Star Service. I'd like to begin by saying thank you. I'd like to thank you and Mr. Baptiste. I have directly benefited from your insistence that local businesses be promoted and be given the opportunity to work with many of the contractors who are coming in and doing development on the construction projects. I'd like to know, however, if there is a way to actually pick that up a little bit. And the reason that I say pick it up a little bit is because we were very successful with a project recently that was the Ballantyne project with March Construction.
The Ballantyne building, you're saying?
Yes,
Yes.
Ballantyne building.
Yep.
That was the new apartment complex that they
The
built.
brewery.
Yes.
Right.
We were very successful on that project. We completed it. We have moved on. Right now, we're looking at 303 Washington.
Right.
We're looking at 10 Commerce.
Right.
And we have not been getting any warmth, any response, unfortunately. And many of the companies that do come in, they have their own go-to people, and we found out that some of these people are from very far away from Newark.
Right.
Okay. Now, when I hired on the Ballantyne project, and most of the projects that I do in Newark are virtually 97% Newark residents. Okay, so not only did we have 97% Newark residents, all of our residents were from the local area. Councilman Silva, I think your representative, Assistant Deputy Mayor Ladd was there
Yeah.
also, Mr. Baptiste. And the only thing that I'm requesting is if there is a way to continue the progress, because we really, really do benefit from it.
Right. There is. I mean, you just have to, I can't make them go to you specifically, but, you know, unless you want me to get in trouble. But at the end of the day, I think there is, and we need to keep having those conversations with the folks in EHD, economic development. You're talking to the right people, and begin to get in those rooms with the folks that are doing these projects, because the ordinance are very specific, that they have to have these minority co-developers on these projects. So it was very specific, and you know, I would keep pushing to make sure you get on those projects.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this event. It's amazing, Fernanda, and your whole entire team. And thank you, Mr. Barak, for being here. So, while you were speaking and the question that you were having, you mentioned about education and how important is education in the state, especially having a correlation of growth and enhancing not just at the level elementary, high school, and also college for opportunities to come in the near future. So my question actually is just to have some clarification. What initiative is your administration supporting to expand financial literacy, resources, and education for Newark College students, especially to help them manage student debt, budgeting, and long-term financial planning? Thank you.
Actually, financial literacy is a part of the state's curriculum now. So all schools are supposed to be teaching financial literacy. If you're interested in, if you have a program that you're trying to get into the schools, I would go to specific schools individually or the school board. If you have something that you're trying to get the school system to use for financial literacy specifically, I would go to them. But financial literacy is a part of not only the state's curriculum, our after-school programming in the summer, we use financial literacy as well through our workforce development, summer youth training. Financial literacy is also a part of that. So there's also an opportunity through Workforce Investment Board here in the city of Newark.
Great. There are some programs like Upper Bound Project that they're very specific in the summer.
Right.
That enhances areas in financial literacy, especially when they support high school students that are starting to college. And this is one area, Montclair is very adamant about that. And my suggestion, if there's an opportunity to expand it in other universities with perhaps your administration, if there's a vision towards it or something similar to it, I'm more than willing to assist.
Okay, thank
Right?
you.
Thank you.
So for those standing in line, the mayor has about 5 minutes left. So if you can make your question very brief and limit the commentary.
Super fast. Thank you, Fernanda, for your continued support and NRBP support in nonprofits. My name is Carlos Javier, Director of Production Operations with the All Stars Project. As we speak, the All Stars is working with Leaders for Life and Out to Read White with our Operation Conversation Cop to Kids program. We're doing our programming there right now while I'm here with you. How do you see the importance of corporate partnership in nonprofits here in the city to support the advancement of our work?
That's a great question. I mean, the corporate community has been helpful in helping nonprofits in the community for some time. That is going to be increasingly important as we see what's happening federally, as dollars have become less and less available for nonprofits in communities like ours to do the work like you're doing, Cops and Kids, which is an incredible program that has helped in the city of Newark tremendously, by the way, between trying to, improve the relationships between children and the people and the cops in our community. Nonprofits are going to have to step up to the plate and provide more resource for organizations like yours and other organizations that are doing work in the city similar to that. So we have to lean on these corporations a little bit more to do more work for us in this city, definitely.
Thank you.
Hey, peace. Good morning, Mayor Baraka. Isaiah Fudge from Advocates for Children of New Jersey. You talked about violence intervention work and how it's a national model here in the city. You talked about the model's positive impact on homicides and gun violence. I'm just wondering, aside from the obvious effect on young people's safety, can you speak to some of the effects, can you speak to some of the ways youth are benefiting from this initiative aside from their safety?
Yeah. Number one, I think when you talk to CBI organizations, the number one thing that they say is that the temperature has gone down. And to me, that means that the kind of stress-related kind of things of emotional and mental health are also affected, when we reduce violence in communities like this. You reduce the kind of stressors that make it difficult for kids to concentrate, make it difficult for kids to go back and forth to school, to come to school. So I think it has a kind of indirect effect on kids' ability to do well in school, their well-being, their social and emotional well-being is changed because you change the environment in which they live in. So their academic success is more probable in that environment than it would if it was in a different kind of environment. And lastly, I think it allows kids the ability to focus and concentrate on the things that they want to be. That means that they get to be themselves. And a lot of times, growing up in these communities, you are always on alert and on defense, and you don't get a chance to be yourself. You're trying to protect yourself, so you're acting like something else as opposed to getting to be who you really are. This gives you the opportunity to self-actualize, to realize who you want to be, who you become, and then dream and envision that in a different way. So reducing this environment, this kind of stressors, give kids essentially more freedom, right? More freedom to be children, like other people's children. They get, I always liken it to when I was a kid. I used to see other people's children running around the supermarket in the mall. They used to be running, and people let them run. I could never do that. I could never run around the mall. My mom would give me a look, and I'm right here. I ain't running around no malls. I can't touch stuff. I ain't got no business touching. Y'all know you can't touch, you can't pick that up, you can't touch that, you can't run. There's a little bit more freedom. We were restricted for various reasons. We were restricted because, one, either you couldn't pay for it, or two, people are going to treat you differently. If you run around and act a certain way and do a certain thing, you might be criminalized for that, right? And so people always kept a short leash on us, because we don't want you to get in no trouble. We don't want you to get arrested. We don't want nothing to happen to you. Stay close to mama, right? And it's the same thing for, I say, these young people. The ability to free some of that up gives them the ability to be young people, to be children and explore and find out who they really are.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to thank you again for being here and participating.
Yep.
Thank you for your transparency and your commitment to the community. I do want to just remind people we have two upcoming events. One on June 9th. It's a virtual event, professional development, team building. It's not the same one that we did last month. It's the next step. So those who attended last month, make sure you attend this month. And then we also have a conversation with John Harmon, who is the founder, president, and CEO of the African American Chamber of Commerce, and that's on the 17th. So check our website for our events and register, and we will see you. Thank you.